Have you seen Star Wars?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to commemorate and almost have like an obituary, a funeral for the Rian Johnson trilogy. Father Force, if you can hear me, I just want to say our respects and mostly disrespect. I know some people are going to piss, dance, and spit on the grave of the Rian Johnson trilogy. The Hollywood Reporter, a highly accredited outlet, has finally come out and admitted the truth. This is the most official, even though it's unofficial, confirmation we're going to have about this Rian Johnson trilogy, probably forever. And they say in the small little tidbit where they interview him, just a small little touch note of Johnson had signed on to mount a fresh Star Wars trilogy in 2017. And while that plan is effectively dead, he isn't saying goodbye yet. And he says, a part of my brain will always be in Star Wars. It's so much a part of me and the way I think. In fact, he's so in love and infatuated and so much a part of Star Wars that he will never do a trilogy of movies like he had signed on to do over 8 years ago now. It was like 8 years ago this month that they had announced it. And since then, the narrative has been, it's still happening. It's coming. We just got to wait for Rian to finish his Knives Out stuff. And then when the interviewer, I think from IGN or Screen Rant, asked Kathleen Kennedy at one of the Star Wars celebrations, what's going on with all these canceled projects and indefinitely delayed? And Kathy's like, oh, it's not delayed. I feel like we get an unfair amount of scrutiny for our development over here at Lucasfilm. Like announcing one trilogy and another trilogy, and it's 2025 since it's been 7 to 8 years since both those trilogies had been announced, and neither of them have come to fruition. But I'm being unfair in my criticism when you came out here for 8 straight years saying, yeah, it's going to happen. I want it to happen. I can't wait for it to happen. We're just waiting for the schedule. And then this year is the year of truth. I guess Rian Johnson's just, confessing all his sins that, actually it never got past the conceptual stage. Lucasfilm greenlit 3 Star Wars movies by one man, and they didn't have a concept, they didn't have an outline, a treatment, a script, not anything. And we're the assholes for calling Lucasfilm out on this stuff. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is one of those things where I try to call a spade a spade. I want to be as fair as possible when it comes to this stuff. And it is extremely unfair to us Star Wars fans to tell us that we have 3 movies coming out from one guy. They never come out. They were always part of the plan. In 2019, they had a meeting with Rian Johnson and the Game of Thrones writers planning out the 2020s of Star Wars. It's 2025. By this point, we're supposed to have like 2 or 3 different Star Wars movies. 2022 is going to be The First Jedi by the Game of Thrones writers. 2023 or 2024? No, 2023 would have been like the first Rian Johnson one. And then 2024 would have been the second episode of the First Jedi trilogy. 2026 would have been the third episode of the First Jedi trilogy. And then the other years, either in between or after, you would have had the Rian Johnson trilogy. But nope, never happened. Never happened, and you're not allowed to even talk about it. And thank God the Hollywood Reporter finally came out and just ripped the damn Band-Aid off. It's dead. It's dead. The Rian Johnson trilogy is dead. It didn't even get past the fetus stage because it never had an outlet. How does that happen? How do you greenlight a trilogy with someone without a fucking concept, dude? Like, that's insane. Like, am I going crazy? Does that not sound insane to any of you? Lucasfilm, does that not sound insane to you that you guys were like, yeah, do whatever the hell you want with Luke Skywalker and the episode 8? And let's not tread old grounds. All right. We're trying to move on. I'm trying to be a better YouTuber, trying to be a better man. But as a man, I just, especially as a fan, I don't have a lot of respect for Rian Johnson. You do not get to sit out here and tell me constantly how much you love this franchise and be one of the few people in the entire world to get a Star Wars trilogy all to yourself that you never do, but you love it. But you love Star Wars so much. It's your favorite franchise. I don't really want to go back and make 3 more movies. The fuck out of here, man. It's ridiculous. Good riddance, Rian Johnson. I'm so tired of him and his shit. I watched Looper for the first time since I saw it in theaters back in like 2012 or something like that. It is nowhere near as good as I remembered it. It was not it had no idea what he wanted it to be. All right. I think that Rian Johnson is what like the snobby people think good filmmaking is, just I'm really smart and everything. Everyone always points to, oh, he did the Breaking Bad thing. It's like, yeah, he was a director. No one's saying he's not a good director. He's a solid director. Absolutely. I've seen his work. He's an awful writer. He's an absolutely awful. And the Knives Out movies, I don't know why those are so successful. I saw the first one, also just corny, not a very well made movie, in my opinion. Great directing, cinematography, acting, and everything. The writing, though, he needs another writer. He needs a co-writer, something. I'm glad to be done with this, Ryan. Can this be the last time we talk about this? Can this be the nail in the coffin? Can we, as a community going forward, just it happened, it hurt, and we're moving on. So to close it out, let's say our little prayer for the Ryan Judge. Let's pay our some respects. Father Force, we're gathered here today to pay our disrespects to the Rian Johnson trilogy. Sorry, I had to get another one out. Rian Johnson was the writer-director of The Last Jedi and was going to do a Star Wars trilogy. Unlike anything we'd ever seen before in Father Force, we all know that this would have subverted our expectations. And based off of his amazing writing in The Last Jedi, we all love that your mother joke. Nothing like a good yo mama joke in Star Wars. Whew, really subverted my expectations with that one, Ryan. And Father Force, I just want to thank you for dragging this on for 8 years. And Father Force above, I also want to thank you for wasting my time with this and making me worried that, this guy was going to come back to ruin Star Wars, only to just not come back at all. But he loves it. He loves Star Wars. He loves Star Wars so much he'll never work on another Star Wars movie again. Thank you, Ryan. I just want to thank you for everything you did. You came in, you did one movie, you ruined Luke Skywalker as a character. And it's not, Star Wars is different from like Lord of the Rings and Marvel. You make a bad Hobbit movie, it's okay. I still have Lord of the Rings. You make bad Marvel movies, I really don't give two shits because they're all just shitty films in general. But God, when you ruin one of the greatest characters of all time, Luke Skywalker, you can just ride off into the sunset with a trilogy that never happened, these awful Knives Out movies. And, that's just it. Good for him. Good for you, Rian Johnson. You are the troll of the century, and there is a special place in purgatory for people like you where you are going to have to sit there and just watch The Last Jedi on repeat until you begin to realize your mistakes and that you, in fact, did not understand the character of Luke Skywalker or why people liked Star Wars in the first place. The Last Jedi is just not fun. No matter what anyone says about that movie, oh, I really liked it. Do you have fun watching that movie? Like, really, you have fun? And Rose is like riding the little ATST with the thing came off, and woohoo! Oh, this is so fun. And that's how we're going to stop them. Not by fighting what we hate, but saving what we love. Oh, Oscar-winning writer right there, baby. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for showing up to this obituary for the Rian Johnson trilogy. Please give me your thoughts and prayers in the comment section below and tell me what your favorite part of the Rian Johnson trilogy was. What was your favorite part of the concepts? Do you think you have a concept in mind? Because he doesn't. Hey, let's wrap this up. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next conversation about Star Wars. I'm Star Wars only, and may the Force be with you always.